Body. This is Black. I'm a part of the Philly podcast, the City Edition. Um, just wanted to jump on with y'all for a little while and talk some Sixers and talk some Eagles. Um, some late news came out this evening that James Harden signed his deal. It was a 2 year, uh, 68.6 million with a player option in after the first year. So he took a pay cut to facilitate getting a couple more pieces on the team, and that was a great thing, because after the year that was up and down for James and the 76ers as a whole, it was it was a welcomed gesture, if you really want to call that a gesture. What he did. I understand what James was thinking. You know, he came from a difficult, a weird situation in Brooklyn. With KD and Kyrie and all that stuff that was going on up there. But it was tough for him to. There was a lot of things going on. My man was still hurt. You got the situation with COVID and Kyrie, injuries in KD, a lot of other things up there. So that facilitated him wanting out. We're not gonna belabor what happened. All else happened in Brooklyn. That's in the past. He's a 76er now, and for at least another year with that player option. But what he did with that player option was that he took less to get PJ Tucker, Daniel House, and help also facilitate the trade of for DeAnthony Melton to come along. So I salute James for that. Um, Now what we have to look forward to is what other final pieces are going to be added to the team. I don't know in regards to. I still think they need another. They need another guard, a shooter. A knockdown shooter, 3-point shooter. Um, Possibly another another center, or at least another big power forward center, however you want to say it, to back up Joel. I'm kind of in the mood or the mode where I don't know if the team believes in B-ball Paul Reed or uh, or Charles Bassey. You know what I'm saying? That's to be continued. Yeah. So I don't know where Doc is on that, man. We all know how Doc is. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play young guys starting off. It's rare. Obviously, if we all seen Doc, it's a rarity. Only a two. What was in '07 he played Rondo and Leon Powell and Big Baby Davis and all those guys. But that team was a what do you call it, a veteran laden team. So he had the pieces around him: KG, Ray, the Truth, a couple other guys was on that team, Kendrick Perkins and all those guys, so that they could reel in the young guys. So that was a decent thing. But I don't know how he's going to run with this team. As far as behind Joel, because we know Joel you know tends to get hurt. Little knick-knack injuries and stuff like that. And they need a competent big man behind him, in my opinion. I still would like to give, like I said, B-Ball Paul and Bassey some run, but you still gonna need that guy in the end and another shooter. Um, as far as everything else goes with the 76ers, right now, I think they are a competitive team. Do I think they are a championship team? That still remains to be seen. I'm not going to put that. I'm not going to count those chickens at all before they hatch. I think they are a very good team. I think they should also advance past the second round of the playoffs with this team as it's currently constructed. But is that saying they're going to get to the finals? I think they should at least get to the conference finals right now. But to say, okay, they are a championship contender, I'm not there. I'm not there right now. They're a very good team. If you had to go in levels, obviously in the East right now you have Boston, you have Milwaukee, right, and you still have, even though Miami lost PJ, you still have Miami there, because of the coaching aspect. I just don't see, I don't see the 76ers beating Giannis and them in the 7-game series. I don't see them beating, as currently constructed, the Boston team either. With their additions, Brogdon, for one, is a decent. He's a better point guard than Marcus Smart, right? So and then even though Brogdon has injury issues some at times, he's still good. You know what I'm saying? He's still a good guard. And even if you uh brought Marcus Smart off the bench, they still have a decent team in Boston. And then uh, obviously Milwaukee with Giannis and the big twin and Portis and Drew and Middleton coming back healthy, it's going to be a problem for the rest of the Eastern Conference. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking in regards to that. Well, back to the 76ers, you know, I still look at them and I still think they have some defensive deficiencies. You know, we don't know what the effect of what is it, PJ being 37 years old. He's going to be forced, like I said, when you're going against a Boston, you're going to have to defend a Tatum or defend a Brown. So he's going to have to guard one of the two. Who's going to guard the other one? Is Tobias good enough if he's here to guard one of them? I don't know. I really don't know. Those two are a problem, and they're gonna get better. And that's just the way it is. One's 23 and the other's 24. So it's not like they're not going to get better at all. They're going to get better. Uh, like I said, with the addition of Brogdon and you got Marcus Smart, and you got Grant Williams, you still got Al, you still got Time Lord Robert Williams. You got a lot of guys there, man. And that's a I think as currently constructed, they're the best team in the East. And then what you got, we don't know what's brewing in Atlanta, man, with DeJounte and Trey, and they still got John Collins. They got Capella, guarding the back line, and what's his name? Steven, I forgot his name, number 12. But they got a lot of dogs down there too, you know. So it might just come down to who's the most healthiest team in at the end, you know. So, but I'm cool. I'm good with that. Hold on one second. Yeah. So, other than that, man, like as far as the 76ers go, it's looking like on the up and up. Those guys are actually, out, James and Joel uh are out partying together, out working together, you know, doing the social thing. That's one thing, I don't want to beat up Ben, because we don't know what all went on in the background. But it looks like, we didn't see him with Ben. I don't know what that means. It could be just like some people don't click, man, in life, on the court, on and off the court. Some people just don't click. You know what I'm saying? But it is a good thing to see Joel out with his teammates, working on their, working a relationship off the court and on the court. Because for a while you ain't see, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't see Joel with none of his teammates really. You know what I mean? You might see him work out with Drew Hamlin and Tatum or Brad Bill. You might see him working in that group with those guys, but you never saw Joel with his team. And then you see Maxey out with Harden working with him. You see Tobias working with B-Ball. So it's a lot of goodness for the first time. It seems like a decent vibe is growing around that team. It seems like almost like the vibe that they had partially when Jimmy came on and they made that Sports Illustrated photo with Joel, Ben, JJ Redick, and Jimmy. It seems like that little vibe they have right there is working on something. So yeah, man. Other than that, we slide over to the Eagles for a little bit. I'm gonna stay on here for another five minutes. With the Eagles, like I said, we kind of covered it Monday. Um, I expect some things from the Eagles. Like I said, I expect a 10 win season. I don't have big lofty expectations. You set the bar low so you don't get disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Some things, the basics they should do. I'm not really worried about the quarterback. I know a lot of people are. I'm not. I'm more worried about the running back position. Like I said, I'm more worried about even the punter. You know what I'm saying? The safety position, but I'm not about to go out and trade a boatload of assets for Jesse Bates. You know what I'm saying? If the issue or the situation is to build, then that's what we're going to do. I don't want to, give up a whole lot for a guy and have to pay him and have to turn around and pay. Prime example, you pay Bates because you trade for him. You're going to have to pay him. You're not going to give up all those assets and then not pay him. What if Hurts exceeds the expectations that are set for him? Then you're looking at a $30 to $35 million contract per year, right? But then you just gave, if you gave Bates 15 a year. You know what I'm saying? Is that really what you want to pay? I don't think so. So you had that going. Like I said, I'm more worried. Like I said, more about the safety. I'm more worried about the punter, maybe a little bit on the kicker. But I I'm I'm cautiously optimistic about the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're going to do well. They're going to be in town, or they're going to be in training camp in 2 weeks. So there'll be a lot more to put out there, man. Um, as far as our team, the Philly podcast, and I know myself, Marv, and a couple other guys we have coming in, man. We got a lot shaking for y'all. So I just want to give y'all a quick update, man, and we'll probably be on sometime this weekend, man. But y'all have a good weekend. Hit that like, subscribe. Subscribe to the Philly podcast, man. Shout out to Joe, Brandon, Marv, Dorsey. We'll be around, man, and y'all have a good evening.